Hello, everybody. You know, it's good to see. I've already talked about this, but it needs to be talked about. More. But the things that are happening right now over down in Gaza, yeah, it is. But it's good to see now, and for instance, certain celebrities are taking a stand against the terrible stuff that's going on anyway. I don't know really. I was searching for the right word to call it. I guess genocide would be, proper. Yeah, probably. Yeah. And what the hell is this? And yeah, it's just uh, sorry. It's I don't know really, man. I mean, I didn't know that this was on my shirt. Sorry. Otherwise, I would put on some. Well, anyway, ignore it. Just some filth. Yeah, as I said, some actors and actresses have taken a stand. That's very good against this violence and for the ceasefire. Yeah, and Sean Bean. I mean, some of my favorite people in show business, which shows that I was, right to to like these people. Thank you very much. I mean, it's terrible when that stuff is going on and people are just silent and mute. While when the attack on Israel happened, many were really quick to come. I mean, to express sympathy and all that support, and that's really sickens me. Especially in the United States. Of course. Yeah, I mean, the country where I live, as I said before, I'm just really happy and proud that this country, Norway, is one of the few now in the Western uh, Europe who has really been pushing for ceasefire. And yeah, but of course, it's only a one country, not a big. I mean, not a very populous one. Fortunately, doesn't hold that much political power, so you know they can just ignore what they say here. And unfortunately, the big guys. Yeah, I'm really struggling not to say any cuss words because part of me is very angry because of it all. What is there to say, right? Nobody cares. The problem is too few people. I mean, the same thing goes for my original homeland country, Bosnia. Uh, when that war was going on, I mean, I don't think that many people, like in the USA, for instance, they didn't even know where it was, what it was. Like, I didn't know there was a country called Bosnia and Herzegovina. So, I mean, like, yeah, right, whatever. But there is, now you know, all right? But yeah, there was like, oh, who are you? Like, why should I give a damn about you? And well, then why should I give a damn about 9/11? I can make the same case. I don't live there. I don't have anybody who died there, right? Same as you don't give a shit about. in Iraq or Syria or you know, and that really pissed me off to see how much difference. It's disgusting, really, but when somebody from like when that happens in countries like USA or somewhere in the West, there's so much uproar. When, when, for instance, and of course I'm not condoning it, God forbid, but when these terrorist attacks would happen and like 100 people would get killed or 500, let's say, yeah, like everybody was in shock, in uproar. But then, like in Iraq or Syria, like that many people get killed maybe in one day or a week, and like everybody's, yeah, all right, it's a tragedy, but what are you gonna do? That's why I know you didn't give a damn about my country. You know, why should you? But except, of course, maybe for those people in the countries that lie close to, yeah, close, maybe. I guess they did give some kind of damn, yeah. I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, once it does not affect you, yeah, it's I understand it's hard to really care. Yeah. However, if you see when you see hospitals and schools get shelled and children dying and people, old people, women, whatever, any kind of people, but especially those. I mean, and you then even then you don't care really much. Like, what kind of human are you, really? I mean, you know. And so anyway, to return to original topic, yeah, I mean, it is now pretty, clear to me that this whole thing was just, and of course, you gotta blame also Hamas, you gotta blame them, but at the same time, yeah, it was very, very, very irresponsible of them. However, you gotta wonder really if there isn't something else that we don't see in the whole story, the whole picture. Yeah, it just seems kind of weird. I mean, I don't know really, but maybe it isn't. But anyway, I don't know. I just don't want to go there right now. But it just seems weird that they would do such a thing too, because they knew this would happen. They were sacrificing. I mean, not just their own people, but their own homes. Actually, it's one thing when people get killed, but when homes get destroyed, like whole quarters, whole buildings, parts of a city get destroyed, you know, like in Kiev, like in Ukraine, for instance, and Mariupol. Uh, that's another thing. Like where are you gonna be now? You should have think this all through, before you did. So yeah, it's just an evil circle. It just keeps going on and on. It's just a mess that somebody. I mean, I know who made that mess. Of course, we know who that who that was. It was the United States government way back in 1948. But yeah, and then you still have people like Megan Kelly, of course, who will just focus on defending the Israelis and the Jews and just blasting those who support Palestine, those who want peace. So what can you say? I mean, some I, some Americans like her, I must say, they have something I don't think that we have in where I live, and that is total lack of empathy and mercy. So when they don't like one country, one side, one people, whatever, they don't care whether they get totally annihilated or not. I mean, they are so hateful and judgmental people like that. Yeah, they are. And I'm not saying that's like all Americans, of course, but yeah, there's a part. Some, yeah. People like that woman that I mentioned. Just very, you know, hideous, terrible kind of people, shitty. So, so, once it goes so far that, as I said, children get killed and hospitals get destroyed, schools, then it's no longer a justified response to an action, to a terror attack, let's put it that way. Then it's called genocide, right? Then it's called genocide. That's what happened in my country. That's what's happening right now in Gaza. And there's no more to say really about that. And shame on USA, shame on all of these Western countries who aren't really like going to Netanyahu and saying, hey, quit it, time out now, stop it. But they don't care. That's my point. They don't care in the end. So yeah, it's like in that movie American Psycho. In the end, when they're watching Reagan talk, and that guy says on the inside, he and Patrick Bateman is like thinking, but on the inside does not matter because they have nothing really, nothing good on the inside. Politicians, right? They are mostly, for the most part, I mean, people who are politicians in power anyway, not these like in the opposition, the minority. They are nobodies, but people of power in politics, they are terrible people on the inside, all right? Let's face it. Because if they were not, they wouldn't be where they are, and they wouldn't be doing what they do. So yeah, that's there isn't more to say. All right, bye.